What's up guys, Nick Plays Games back again today with another video. Today we are back on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot looking at the best 3 mods out right now so far for the game. It's only been about 3 weeks I believe, so there's not too many mods out there right now. But out of all the mods I've looked at and I've made some videos on, I put the 3 best together that I thought were pretty good so far and basically put them in this video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so for the first mod of this video that I thought was pretty good so far was the CJ from San Andreas reskin for Goku on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So we got some clips here in the background of an old video I made of the CJ mod, but the reason why I say this mod is one of the top 3 right now is just because CJ is such a famous character for all of the gamers out there. Everyone has at least played once, or you guys know what San Andreas is, and if you know what San Andreas is with all the memes that CJ has, you know who Carl Johnson is. And to see Carl Johnson be able to make it into Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and be able to use him as Goku and fight other characters here in Dragon Ball Z is it's just really kind of nostalgic, but at the same time it's just really funny to look at because you're seeing CJ here using Kamehamehas and all these abilities and going into Kaioken, and it's just a cool combination of a very famous, a very good nostalgic Grand Theft Auto game along with our brand new Dragon Ball Z and putting them together. So this is why I thought CJ, this reskin, the texture reskin mod, whatever you want to call it, is one of the top 3 out right now. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is still very new. It only came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago at the time of this video, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot more mods that come out. Maybe some reskins for other Grand Theft Auto games. You might see Nico Bellic from Grand Theft Auto 4 and things like that. But I believe actually CJ was actually one of the first mods out, if not the first one. This one or the Goose one, where they reskin Goku as a goose. But I think it was a good idea to make this one of the first mods, just because who doesn't want to play as CJ on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? So yeah, definitely, I would put CJ in one of my top 3 mods. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get into the next mod. Alright guys, so for our next mod in our top 3, the second best mod I would say out right now is the character switcher mod. This comes from Mastaklo or Mastalco. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but this mod is actually a really cool mod. What it lets you do is kind of switch your character to any of the playable characters in the game at any point in time. So you can be at the beginning of the game or the end of the game, and you can switch to Goku, Android 18, Piccolo, whoever you want to be, Vegito, Gotenks, and yeah, it's pretty cool because without this type of mod, there's kind of basically no other way to do that. And if you're really crap at Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, you can kind of pick a super strong character and just play them right off the beginning. Even though that's kind of cheap, it is kind of cool just to be able to do. So yeah, the character switcher mod is also a super new mod, but it works really well, and it's also really simple to use and install. It's just an executable file that you would run while you're playing the game. So that's another reason why I put it in the top 2, just because you don't have to go in there and kind of potentially corrupt your game files by changing them or modifying them. All you do is run executable and the mod works, which is pretty good because most of the mods out right now are ones where you have to change the game files, and a lot of people don't really know how to do that without screwing things up, and if you don't back them up, it can be really bad. But yeah, definitely top 2 best mod. For our last mod, or the best mod, if we save the best for last, it's definitely going to be the debug build for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot that's out right now. And just the reason why I say that is because the debug build really lets you do whatever you want in the game, which I mean, what else can you ask for, right? I'm honestly really surprised to see the debug build be out so early for the game when it's only been out for what, 3 weeks at this point. But yeah, the debug build is really an awesome mod, just because there's so many different things you can do in there, and if you've seen the other videos on my channel, you'd know there's so many different kind of things you can test out which is really cool that normally you would never be able to see with just the final version of the game. So that's why I'm putting the debug build in my #1 spot for the best 3 mods out right now. And yeah, as you guys can see, just some clips in the background, you're seeing some unplayable characters right now that might be coming out as DLC, but these characters were found in the game files. And people like here we got Wiz, and in the last clip we had Deborah, even though Deborah is not a DLC character, but we do have Wiz, and I believe in the next clips we do got some I think some gameplay with Mira or Beerus. But yeah, definitely I would put the debug build in the #1 spot for these mods, just because all the things I already mentioned. You know, it lets you can go look at different maps. Here we're playing on the hyperbolic time chamber. But you know, you can spawn in different characters. You can replay old battles, go on different maps, look at how they look like outside of the missions, which is really cool. You know, only with the debug build do you get the opportunity to do something like that. So yeah, for sure, #1 spot. However, even though I do really like the debug build, it is out. I'd say out of all the mods, I'd say the debug build is probably the hardest one to use. And what I mean by that is very, it can be very difficult to install. It's not like the other mods. If you've used any of the other mods, the way they work kind of is there's a file called a pack chunk or something, and you simply just replace the pack chunk file in one of the folders in the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot file location. But the thing with the debug build is you're replacing more than that. You're replacing, I believe, some files in the engine folder and some files in the pack chunk folder. And if you don't back up those files, the debug build can really screw up the game. But if you bought it on Steam, I'm sure you can verify the integrity of the game, and it will restore all those files. But you know, there might be some people out there who may have not bought this on Steam, maybe pirated or torrented the game. And if you are one of those people, make sure you back up your game files, because if you don't, you're gonna have to uninstall and basically reinstall and crack the game all over again. Where you know that's how the debug build kind of can screw you. But aside from that, you know, as long as you install it properly, it is really cool. I'd say it is worth the time and effort it takes to install it. Just because, like, look at the clip we got in the background here, just me and this uh, here playing against Mira. But honestly, the debug build is super cool, just for any Dragon Ball Z fans out there, or anybody who just got the game and kind of wants to play out some cool things that you don't normally see. The debug build has so much opportunities in there, and so many cool things to check out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you guys so much for watching. These were my top 3 best mods out right now, as of, I think it's already February of 2020. We're moving pretty quickly. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and leave a comment what you want to see next time. It's Nick Plays Games, and I'm out.